What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy and Julian here with your second stimulus check update. Julian's actually going to do the whole video this time, right? Open. Just kidding. But we wanted to wish you guys a happy Labor Day before we get into the stimulus check news. All right, I wanted to show you guys a new developing story regarding stimulus. And that is the new fight over Ted Cruz's school choice plan threatens Senate GOP, which is Senate Republican, unity on new stimulus. Senate Republican leaders are working to limit defections from their party's latest economic stimulus package, which they were hoping to vote on as soon as next week to provide a clear election year contrast with the Democrats. But behind the scenes, they're running into a new hurdle: Senator Ted Cruz and his push for a controversial school choice plan that has divided the Senate Republican conference. Republican leaders have been working for weeks with their 53-member Senate conference in an effort to ensure that 51 senators, the majority, will vote to advance their stimulus plan. Republicans now privately acknowledge that they will likely need to next week to iron out their differences, with their first full conference meeting on Wednesday. On private conference calls, Ted Cruz, a Texas Republican who ran for president in 2016 and might again in 2024, has been lobbying Republicans to include billions of dollars in tax credits to expand school choice, an idea with strong support among some Republican voters, but critics say would hurt the public school system. Ted Cruz has argued that this virus pandemic has showcased the weakness of public school systems and that Republicans should get behind an idea that the party is advocating this election year. Ted Cruz has argued that there's little in the bill as it's being developed that he could get behind, suggesting he could vote against the plan if school choice is not included. Now remember, anything that's bundled in with a stimulus package or stimulus checks or unemployment extension, if it's a Republican bill, the Republicans have 53 votes in the Senate, and they need all the votes they can get. If they lose just a few members, they might not have enough to pass it in the Senate unless they get Democratic support, which would mean they'd have to negotiate on the bill ahead of time. And Ted Cruz, who ran for president for the Republicans, has a lot of people that follow him. And if he says something like, hey, we have to include billions of dollars for school choice in the next stimulus package, or else me and my supporters aren't going to vote on this package, that could be something that delays the package because he's being so bullish on including this issue in the next stimulus package. That's actually different than what the other Republicans wanted in the next stimulus package, including Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin, who is the main negotiator for the Republicans. He wants to pass things in smaller bills, like, for example, pass a stimulus check and an unemployment extension, just pass those two things, get them out of the way. Then they could worry about money for schools, money for cities, pass those, get them out of the way. Mostly, the Republicans have been in favor of passing smaller bills, at least lately, to kind of get some things passed, such as stimulus checks, put stimulus checks and maybe one other things in a smaller stimulus package and just pass them and get them out of the way. Also, there's been a lot of talk about the recent jobs report that there's more jobs being claimed right now and less people filing for unemployment, and that's a little bit misleading. The U.S. economy added 1.4 million jobs in August, pushing the unemployment rate down to 8.4%. But August's gain of 1.4 million jobs marked the second straight month of slowing job growth, and a troubling distinction given that 11.5 million Americans who still haven't found work are losing their jobs to this pandemic. That picture looks even bleaker when accounting for 238,000 temporary census workers that make up much of August's new jobs. And once the census and these temporary government jobs are over here just in a few months, then all those people lose their jobs again. The unemployment rate and how many jobs are being claimed every week and every month, new jobs that people are going back to work, and how many people are losing their jobs is a big indicator to Congress and the officials that look at that stuff to see how good the economy is doing and if we need more stimulus and how much stimulus and who needs stimulus. Do we need stimulus checks to people? Do we need the unemployment extension? Do we need money for small businesses? So that and several other indicators like the stock market being at an all-time high, that's definitely not helping us get more stimulus. So we did have several different days of drops here recently, but the stock market being at an all-time high, the problem with that is that they look at that and they say, oh, business is doing good because the stock market is at an all-time high. But the reason that is because of how much stimulus they've passed recently and bailout money for airlines and different industries. And the Fed buying billions and billions of bonds helps prop up the stock market. When that stimulus goes away, the stock market could drop like a rock. So that's why there's another reason for stimulus, because that is what's holding everything together. We now have almost every single state, except for a few, has been approved for the federal government boost money that was passed through the presidential executive order. There's several states that have already paid out their money, including Alabama, Arizona, Louisiana, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Missouri, Montana, North Carolina, Rhode Island, Tennessee, and Texas. Every other state is payment pending except for South Dakota, who declined the money, Nevada and Nebraska, who are still applied and have not been approved yet. They're not payment pending, and Kansas and DC. All these other states that are payment pending could be receiving their money this week. I would say a lot of them should be receiving their money in the upcoming week. We're starting to see a lot more states come online at the paid status, which means it's actually paid out. A lot of these states that are paid out, they've paid out a lot of back pay. You see this column right here is back pay. A lot of states have done 4 to 5 weeks in back pay, 3 weeks here, 1 week here, 5 weeks here. Let us know down below if your state has paid out and if it's paid back pay yet, or when you are expecting your state to have the money. I would assume that a lot of these payment pendings are getting very close and should be having the money to you guys within this week. The other problem is that FEMA said that their unemployment money, this temporary money that they've shifted around from one fund to another to pay for this executive order money, that it's going to be running out, and it's probably going to run out this week. We'll have to see, but I think that most states are going to get 4 to 5 weeks of payments, which is very good. And it's also very good because it's going to create a new urgency for Congress to pass an unemployment extension, a more permanent extension to the end of the year, which both Republicans and Democrats want. And that'll be a great opportunity for them to add in stimulus checks, which both Republicans and Democrats want, $1,200 stimulus checks and checks for all dependents and the unemployment extension. So it'll be a great time for them to, this week or coming up in the next week or so, to bundle those together and pass a stimulus package. Hopefully they don't, pass a whole bunch of other things in that package and hold it up. Hopefully they can just pass the stimulus check and the unemployment extension and just get that passed, especially because President Donald Trump has been urging very badly to get that done before the election. So make sure to subscribe to this channel down below. You can click the button. This way you won't miss out on new videos coming out. And hit the like button for me down below if you haven't yet. You can click on these videos to watch my newest stimulus check videos next. And this video teaches you how to start a business selling products on Amazon FBA. I have students that have replaced their entire 9-to-5 income, and I teach them how to do that. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.
Bye-bye.
Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.